Ram Ram Ram. Sarvebhyah hritpurvaka namaskaraah. Pravesha kakshayam sarvesham swagatam. Suprabhatam. A very warm welcome to class 6 of preparatory course for, and good morning to all of you joining us from the Eastern Hemispheres. And good evening to those joining from those parts of the globe where it is evening now. So let us begin as usual with Guru Vandanam and Shlokaha. Gurureva gatir gurumeva bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave Na guru paramam shishurasmi guroho Matirasti gurau mama pahi guro Bravimi samskritam vacha Dhyayami samskritam hrida Purve sevancha kayena Vande samskrita mataram Yonara samskrita vyomnihyalayam ramate muda Samskritin chaiva samskaram Vindate natra samshayah. Okay, so let us begin with a quick recap of what we learned in the previous class. In the previous class, we began with the introduction to the word Samskritam. So we all know now that it means Samyak Kritam, perfectly done or well made. And then we started with the Varnamala. We started learning the Sanskrit alphabet, and we also learned that the last indivisible sound with that sound which cannot be divided further anymore is called a varna, a letter. And swatantra dhvanihi varnaha bhavati. Then we also learned about the 3 kinds of letters, that is swaraha, vowels, Vyanjanani, consonants, and ayogavaha. So there were a few questions towards the end of last class about ayogavaha, etc., which I thought I will deal with in brief before we begin today's new chapter. And I would also like I did in the previous class, now is the introductory lesson. So very basic overview of Sanskrit grammar, the basic building blocks of Sanskrit, which will help you for any further study. So this is, even your Pravesha book has this, but we haven't yet started the lessons, so to say, from lesson 1 onwards. And 2 reasons for that. One is because this foundation will help you appreciate the lessons better once we start them. And secondly, I know a lot of you are still registering and you have to procure a textbook. So in that regard, for those of you who wrote to us from different countries regarding the process of registration and procuring the textbook, we have sent an email to all those who wrote to me with the email ID and details of Samskriта Bharati and how you could procure the book, how you could write to them, make the payment and procure the book. In case you haven't received the email or you're yet to write to me, if you stay in a country where you don't have a branch of Samskriта Bharati, then please do write to me. And also, like I said, if you haven't received the email from us on the process of registration, also please do write to us. So I'm hoping that by the time we complete these introductory chapters, most of you will have your books with you, because we will not be typing out the entire lesson on the screen. So it is important to have the book so that when I read from there, you will know. We will have a PPT, but the book will not be shared in PPT or PDF format. You will have to get the book from Samskriта Bharati itself. Okay, so with that, Many of the basic lessons from an examination point of view, because they will find themselves in the exam, these basics, to go a little more in detail and know these basics. So which is why we are doing the reasons. So let us come to swaraha. So we learned that we have these swaras which you see on the screen: a, I, u, u, r, l, a, I, o, au, aha. So this letter here, please see this particular letter, is called L, and it is not called R. R is a separate letter which consists of a Vyanjanam and a Swara. It consists of the Vyanjanam La and the Swara R. That would become R. So that we will be learning when we learn Gunitaksharani. But that is not a Swara. Please note, that is a Vyanjanam. R is a Vyanjanam. And it is a Gunitaksharam. We will learn what a Gunitaksharam is. This is L. The reason I'm repeating this, a lot of you had questions regarding this in the previous class. And I also understand that in yesterday's class, there were questions regarding this. There is also a slight difference in the way L is represented and in the way R is represented. So they are two separate letters. And example of a word which has the swara L, kliptam, which means clipped, kliptam. So we don't say klriptam, it is kliptam. That R sound is not there. There was also a question in the previous class as to whether there is a dirgha L. So in the Matrika Patha or in the Varnamala, we do not have L. Also, we do not really come across words which have the L word, L letter, sorry. However, in some texts, very rarely, L is used as a bijakshara. So we do not really come across in words. So which is why we do not include L in the Varnamala. And aha, I told you they are colored because they are actually what we call ayogavahu. Ayogavahu learned that. And I reiterate that in the textbook and in many textbooks, swaraha are represented from a to aha. So in the exam, whoever is willing to take up the exam, swaraha, you will have to write a to aha. But please note that there is a separate category of letters called ayogavaha, and is anuswaraha, which like we learned, and aha is visargaha. So swara, like you know, is capable of independent existence. Swayam rajante iti swaraha, which is not the case with the Vyanjanam, which we will learn today. Any doubts, please type in the Q&A box, not in the chat box. Please, you can type now and I will look at it at the end of the class. So do not please include your doubts in the chat box. Anuswaraha visargaha aha. Okay, so we also learned, some of you requested for the definition to be on the screen. So that is what I've done here. Swaram anuprayujyate iti anuswaraha. Anuswara is, it follows, it is combined with a swara. We see it with a swara like im, and vividhatam srijati iti visargaha. So a visarga is, it has multiple forms. It can attain multiple forms, which is why it manifests itself in various ways. So that is a visarga. Example, aha, ihi, uhu, rh, etc. So I think there was an email by someone on how does it have various forms. Now, we will, I mean, when we learn shlokas, etc., we might come across certain sandhi rules where you'll see how the visarga is changing. But for now, I think we will not get into sandhi rules because we still are learning the basics and we still need to learn the letters, Vyanjanani, etc. So there is a separate sandhi called visarga sandhi itself. Sandhi is nothing but the rule of combining letters in Sanskrit. To give you an example, Guru Reva, the first Guru Vandanam we learned, Guru Reva, that comprises of two words, Guru Hu plus Eva. So Guru Hu, you see the Visarga there, plus A. So when it combines, it becomes Guru Reva. The Visarga goes and Ra comes in its place. So that is one example where the Visarga is changing because of the Sandhi rule. And we also saw last class how we have Upadhmaniya and Jihvamuliya with the Visarga. We will revise that as well. We learnt this, how an Anuswara is represented with a dot above and a Visarga with two dots next to the letter. Ayogavahaha. So there was a question again, and I would like to address it at the end of last class. Why are they called Ayogavahaha? And also, why are they not? Why are they represented separately? So I briefly replied last class, but I thought I would answer it more in detail here. So the definition of Ayogavahaha is Yogam Vina Prayogam Vahayantiti Ayogavahaha. So without inclusion, they are used in the in Sanskrit. So they are called Ayoga. Yoga, inclusion. Ayoga without inclusion, but they are there in Prayoga, meaning in usage they are there. So we include them in the Varnamala also. Now, what does this mean? So we have a very beautiful story. And like I said, in Sanskritam, it's a very refined language. So you know how the letters originated. So we have something called Maheshwara Sutrani, which are 14 sutras. Loosely translated, you can say 14 formulae in Sanskrit. And why are they called Maheshwara Sutrani? Because they emanated from Lord Shiva, Maheshwara's Damaru. You know that instrument which Shiva uses. So when he was performing his cosmic dance using the Damaru, the instrument of Shiva, produced these 14 sutras, sounds. And the sages, Panini, he was blessed to listen to these sounds. So these sounds were revealed to Panini, and he brought to us, and he has given us these 14 sutras. So because they emanated from Lord Shiva, they are called Maheshwara Sutrani. And these Maheshwara Sutrani are 14, like I said, I, Rik, Eong, Ayauch, etc. And the origin of the letters in Sanskrit, the Swaras and Vyanjanani, is from these sutras. The A, A, I, I, and even the Vyanjanani came from these sutras. So this is the story associated with how the letters originated. And those who are interested in going deeper in Sanskrit grammar to know what are Maheshwara Sutrani, there are other courses in Vyoma. Also, there is a course by Dr. Venkat Subramaniam, Learn High School Sanskrit Grammar, which has certain videos. It's a completed course, but you can always register to view the videos on YouTube. You have sessions on Maheshwara Sutrani, so you can go through that. Now, Ayogavahaha, they are not included in these 14 sutras, in these Maheshwara Sutrani. We don't come across these in those sutras. Therefore, they are a separate group. So I hope this is clear. So Yogam Vina, even without inclusion in that, Prayogam Vahayantiti, they are used in usage, you have them in Prayoga. They are called Ayoga Vahaha. So in the Varnamala chart, we include them. Now, all this is purely for your information, out of interest. And when you ask me certain questions, I will have to go deeper than what is there in the book and tell you, because only then your doubts will be clear. And it is very good because you will know why is it a separate group. But this is not included in the textbook. So please note that. And these Ayogavahaha, like I said, they are used very frequently. And I hope this is clear as to the distinction between Swara, Vyanjana, and Ayogavahaha. So we learned Anuswaraha, Visargaha, then Upadhmaniyaha. So those who have attended yesterday's session would have had a vigorous exercise on Upadhmaniya and Jihvamuliya pronunciation. because there were a lot of doubts regarding that also. Guroho paramam becomes Guro paramam. Shaktaha prabhavitum becomes Shakta prabhavitum. And here Kathamakrita punyaha prabhavati becomes Kathamakrita punya prabhavati. In many textbooks, Visarga is indicated as it is 2 dots, but there is a separate indication for Upadhmaniya, and we want you to be aware of it. So which is why we have included it here. So if you see this sign, this is called Upadhmaniya. In today's session, we will get into the nuances of pronunciation. So we will revisit Upadhmaniya there. Jishva Muliya, Visarga followed by Ka or Kha. So Antaha Karanam becomes Antah Karanam. Shaurihi Kathamapi becomes Shaurish Kathamapi. So this is called a Jihva Muliya, slightly different representation. Again, in some books, it is shown as a Visarga itself. In fact, in most books, I would say. And in some others, both Upadhmaniya, Jihva Muliya are shown by the same symbol. But this is what is now accepted if you want to show the distinction between Upadhmaniya and Jihva Muliya. We also learned the different types of swaras based on the time taken to pronounce. Hrasva swaraha, those pronounced in 1 matra kala. Dirgha swaraha, those pronounced in 2 matra kalas. Klutaha, which we find in the Vedas, pronounced in 3 or sometimes 4 matra kalas, like I and Au are generally pronounced in 4 matra kalas. Then Ardha matrakam, half a matra kala, is a Vyanjanam, a consonant, which is what we are going to learn in today's class. The focus of today's class is consonants. And Gunitaksharam. So how is Vyanjanam Ardhamatra? So when you see this Gunitaksharam, K is a Vyanjanam. It does not have a swara in it. When it combines with A, it becomes Ka. So that is how you get a Purnakshara. So here K plus A becomes Ka. So this K, that is Ardha Matrakam. The time taken to pronounce is half a matra kala. So this is a quick recap. Let us move to today's lesson. Vyanjanani, consonants. Okay. So Vyanjanani are dependent letters. They are consonants. They require the help of swaras for pronunciation. Now, K is a Vyanjanam. K is just that sound. K, that what sound you get, that is a Vyanjanam. And only when it combines with A, it becomes Ka. And Anvak Bhavati iti Vyanjanam is a definition. Anugachati, it follows. What does it follow? Swara dharmam anugachati. It follows the attributes of the swara. So if you say K plus A, it becomes Ka. Similarly, if you say K, if it combines with E, it will become Ki. If it combines with U, it becomes Ku. So you see how it is following the attribute, the sound of the swara. So Vyanjanani, consonants, there are different types of consonants. And one way of understanding the distinction or the types of consonants are Vargiya Vyanjanani and Avargiya Vyanjanani. So Vargiya means group, Varga means group. So Vargiya Vyanjanani, grouped consonants, and Avargiya Vyanjanani, non-grouped consonants. So Vargiya Vyanjanani are those which are in a group. Avargiya are those which are not in a group. Let us learn Vargiya Vyanjanani now. So Ka Vargaha. The name of the group is indicated by the first letter of that group. Okay, so because this group is starting with the letter K, it is called Ka Vargaha. Groups of 5. So K, K, G, G, Ng. I hope this is clear. K, K, G, G, Ng. And then next one. Yeah. Cha vargaha. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Called cha vargaha. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Cha vargaha. Next is ta vargaha. T, th, d, dh, n. T, th, d, dh, n. Ta vargaha. Then ta vargaha. T, th, d, dh, n. T, th, d, dh, n is ta vargaha. Last group, pa vargaha. P, ph, b, bh, m. P, ph, b, bh, m. Okay, so these are Vargiya Vyanjanani. So let me see if anybody is interested to Suresh Ishwar Mahodaya. Please unmute. So once I call your name and you can read one Varga. If you want me to teach, I'll teach and you can repeat. If you know it yourself, please read one Varga. Suresh ji.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear.
Yeah. Yes. Can I repeat, ma'am? Can I tell?
You can. Do you want to repeat or do you want to recite? Do you want to say it? Yes, yes, please.
Yeah. K, k, g, g, n.
Once again, just ka varga. We'll go each varga at a time.
Thank you.
Once again, ka varga.
K, k.
The first one also I'm hearing as a Mahaprana. It should be Alpa Prana. K.
Okay. K, k, g.
K again, please, Suresh ji, because I'm hearing it as K. It is K.
Okay. Madam, actually, I'm driving. That may be a reason.
Oh, okay, okay.
K, g, g, n.
Okay, perfect. And please, Suresh, if you're driving, then please be careful. I mean, you're attending the class also. So next we have Geeta ji. Do let me know if you want to, Geeta ji, please unmute. You could let me know if you want to say it yourself or you want to repeat.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, Geeta ji.
Aham prayatnam karomi bhagini.
Ha.
Ch, ch, j, j. This one is nya, nya.
Yes. Ch, j, j, nya.
I'll repeat.
Yes.
Ch, j, j, nya. Cha varga.
Perfect. Cha varga. Uttamam bhagini. Very
Dhanyavadaha.
well. Yeah, dhanyavadaha. So one cue which you could remember on how to pronounce these last letters, these last 5 letters of each varga is the way the other letters are pronounced, as in you should be very conscious here. So while saying k, k, g, g, ng, please see yourself, say it aloud and see from where is the sound emanating. It's very beautiful. There is a reason why these are grouped like this. If you see Kavarga, all the 5 letters are originating from the same part of your mouth, which we will deal with today. We will see the origin of the pronunciation of the letters. But even now, when you see k, k, g, g, ng, you see there is a similarity where these letters are originating. You please say them aloud and then try to observe from where is this coming, each letter. So the last letter of each varga also emanates from the same place, however, with a nasal tone. That's the only difference. So when you are a bit confused as to how to pronounce this, nya, say the other letters aloud. Ch, ch, j, j. So you know they're all coming from the same place. You're using either you please be aware while pronouncing each letter. What are you using? Your tongue, your teeth, your hard palate or soft palate. It's okay if we are not aware about the anatomy of the mouth and all that in detail, but just mere observation, simply observing yourself when you are pronouncing, you will know they are all, each varga, they're all emanating from a particular place. So ch, ch, j, j, ny. So ny also emanates from the same place as the other 4 letters in that varga, however with a nasal tone, anunasika, with a nasal tone, with the nose. You use the nose also. So that is how it will help you in pronouncing the letters correctly. And accurate pronunciation is very, very important. Any language, and especially in Sanskritam, because it is so scientific, and there are rules for pronunciation of letters. We have sutras, formulae, which we will learn today. So please be aware of where is the sound emanating from. Atlani ji.
Yes, Hari Om, madam.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Do you want to do Tavarga? Should I teach?
Yes, please teach.
Okay. T,
D,
K,
T,
D,
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 N.
N.
Perfect. So if you see, you would notice the tongue is curling up a bit, right? When you say T, K, D, D, N. For all, the same thing is happening in pronouncing all the 5 letters. Would you like to try now, Atlani ji, by yourself?
Yes, please. D, T, D, D, N.
Perfect. Uttamam.
Thank
you. Next, Krishna Chaitanya ji.
Namaste.
Namaste. Next, Tavargaha.
The, the, n.
Once again, Krishna ji.
The, n.
So this third letter was slightly heard similar to the 4th letter. So we use less force for the third letter. D. 4th letter, D. More prana, more breath. Dhanyavadaha. Next, Varga Lochani ji. Those who finish, request you to please go back to mute. Lochani ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
P, H, B, H, M.
Uttamam. Just that now we are pronouncing the letters half. So if you see this halanta, this line which is shown at the end below each letter, that shows that we are pronouncing them without the swara. So when you say P, it is P plus A. Okay, so for now on screen, we have only Vyanjanani, like no swara included. So it would be P, P, B, B, M.
P, P, B, B, M.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha, Lochani ji. Okay. So I think this is clear, the 5 vargas, and why they are grouped so, because of the origin of the letters when we pronounce them. The similar ones which use the similar parts of the mouth or the teeth, etc., they are grouped together. The last varga, pa varga, if you see, we use the lips, we close the lips. P, P, B, B, M. So the last M is also like the other letters, but with the nasal tone. So I hope this is clear. Then we move to Avargiya Vyanjanani or Avargiya. They are not grouped, non-grouped consonants. So let us pronounce these now. Y, r, l, v, sh, sh, s, and h. Once again, I will pronounce them. Please note carefully. Y, r, l, v, sh, sh, s, and h. Now, please note the difference between pronunciation of these three letters, which is very important. Sh, sh, and s. Similar, but there is a huge difference when we pronounce them. So when we say sh, it is the pronunciation is similar to cha varga, what we just learned. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. We learned the cha varga. So the sh is pronounced similar to the cha varga. So the tongue must curl downward and the middle portion approaches the palate. So that's okay if we do not go into details of the anatomy, but just be aware practically. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. The way we pronounce this sh is pronounced similarly. However, when we say ch, then the tongue is actually touching the upper portion of the mouth, but for sh, it doesn't. It just moves upward, but it curls downward, and then the middle portion moves upward. So that is how sh is pronounced, like Shivaha, Shankaraha, Shubham, Asha. All these words have this sh. Next one, sh. This is pronounced similar to the ta varga. And like when you say ta, tha, da, dha, na, what is happening? When you say them aloud, ta, the tongue is curling back and upward, and it is approaching the root of the mouth. When we say ta, you can feel that, like whatever I'm explaining here, you can feel that when you pronounce it and you are aware of how you're saying that letter. So ta, tha, da, dha, na. Similarly, sh. The tongue should move in the same way. Though when we say sh, the tongue doesn't really touch. When you say ta, the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. When you say sh, it doesn't. But the same movement and the same curling up of the tongue is happening. So that is how sh should be pronounced. It is different from sh. It's important because many a time, if we are not aware of this distinction, we will pronounce both in the same way. And while writing, we will get confused. Shanmukhaha, which sh is it? Shivaha, which sh is this? First sh or second sh? So that is not exactly the way to refer to these letters. They have a particular name. We will learn that in today's class also. So we should be aware of the difference in pronunciation. So when I say shat, shat means 6 in Sanskrit, the number 6. So shat, you see sh, it is pronounced similar to the Tavarga letters. Shanmukhaha, it is again similar. Shanmukhaha, another name for Subramanya, Skanda. So there also Shanmukhaha, this sh. So please be careful, even while chanting Samskritam shlokas, while reading words, this distinction between sh and sh should be clear. There are 2 letters for a purpose, because there is a change in the way we pronounce. Otherwise, we would have just had 1 letter, right? So we need to make that distinction clearly while pronouncing. And when we are aware while pronouncing itself, while writing, we will not be confused as to which sh, whether sh or sh should be used. Now, sa. This is slightly more different from them, but again, sometimes, we see that there is a tendency to interchange sh and sa. So that shouldn't happen. Also, especially, in languages like Telugu, so that this sh here, which I just showed, this sh In Telugu, the language is such, each language is different. It is pronounced more towards sa. Okay, so in Telugu, something like Vishwam would be pronounced as Viswam in Telugu. But that is not the case in Sanskritam. So especially those of us with a Telugu background who tend to pronounce this sha similar to sa should avoid that while pronouncing Sanskrit. So each language has its own rules. In Sanskritam, this sa is very different from sha. So this sa here, which you see, the third one which I have marked, so that pronunciation is similar to the ta varga letters. So ta, tha, da, dha, na, sa. So here what is happening? The tongue approaches the teeth. So when you say ta, you see the tongue is approaching the teeth. Ta, tha, da, dha, na. The tongue is approaching the teeth in the upper jaw. So sa, similar movement of the tongue, but it doesn't touch. So ta, the tongue actually touches the teeth, but for sa, the tongue doesn't touch the teeth, but a similar approach. So this is how you can remember. And this is not what I'm just making up. There is a formula for this. We will get introduced to that in today's class as well. So these three letters, please be very careful while pronouncing, and these certain cues will help you as to how to pronounce them accurately. Okay. So now again, Vyanjanani. This is the entire chart. So you have the Vargiya Vyanjanani, 5 into 5, 25 letters. Then you have the 8 Avargiya Vyanjanani, non-grouped consonants. Also the non-grouped consonants, some of them will have a question. Is la included? La. So la is there in languages like Hindi, not Hindi, Kannada and Telugu. We have la. So after her, sorry about that, after her we have one letter called la. So in Sanskrit, this letter called la is used only in Vedas. So not in conversational Sanskrit and not in day-to-day Sanskrit. Vedic Sanskrit, there are certain differences from daily conversational Sanskrit. Like, some kinds of letters are only used in the Vedas. Some kinds of pronunciation we need to follow very strictly in the Vedas, which is different from our daily usage of Sanskrit. So this la is not included in the Varnamala, but in some Vedic mantras, you come across la. However, while pronouncing any Sanskrit word in shlokas in Bhagavad Gita, any shlokas of any shloka, Saundarya Lahari, or any other work, or any book for that matter, while reading a Sanskrit text, non-Vedic, I'm saying, we do not say la. So when we say Mangalam, it is Mangalam, it is not Mangalam. So please note that difference. Okay, so Vargiya Vyanjanani, we saw are classified into Vyanjanani, we saw are classified into Vargiya, Avargiya. Now Vargiya Vyanjanani, that is the grouped consonants, are further classified into Alpapranaha, Mahapranaha and Anunasikaha. Avargiya Vyanjanani, non-grouped consonants, also have Alpaprana and Mahaprana distinction, but they do not have Anunasika distinction. Let us see what this means. So we have this chart. Now, while pronouncing, you would have realized that some letters take more prana, more effort. When I say kha, more air is coming out. When I say gha, again, you see there is more prana, more breath, more force being used compared to ka. Similarly, cha, jha, tha, dha, tha, dha, ha, bha. More air is used, right? More prana is used, which is why chanting, they say, has a pranayama effect when chanted well. When you chant the letters exactly as per the pronunciation rules, you're using your breath more for these letters. So they are called Mahapranaha. Okay, so let us see here. Yes. So this band which you see here for these letters, these are the letters which use less force, alpa. Alpa means less. They use less force, less prana, less breath is required to pronounce them. So they are called alpa pranaha. K, g, ng, ch, j, ny, t, d, n, t, d, n, p, b, m, and y, r, l, v. These require less prana. In many books and very frequently, alpa prana letters, we only see that the first and the third letter is indicated as alpa prana of each varga. But strictly speaking, all the letters which are not mahaprana are alpa prana. So the first, third, and the fifth letter of each varga and yerlev are alpa pranas. They require less prana compared to the other letters, less breath compared to the other letters. So this we must be clear. And the second and the fourth letter of each varga and sh, s, and h are mahapranas. Okay, so I hope this distinction is clear. Now, this also is very important while we chant or when we read, because the meaning itself changes sometimes. So when you say phalam, for example, let us take this. Ha, the second pa. Pa and lam. So phalam means fruit. And I think I already mentioned to you, there is no pa sound in Sanskrit, that like fruit, full, we don't have that sound in Sanskrit. It is pa. So those who are conversant with Hindi, so in Hindi we say fal, it is not phal. But in Sanskritam, pa is pronounced as pa itself. There is no fa. So please make this distinction. Those who are used to reading Hindi might tend to read it as fa in Sanskrit also, but in Sanskrit it is pa. Phalam means fruit. Palam means meat. So with a mahaprana, it would mean fruit. With alpa prana pa, it means meat. So you see how the meaning is changing. Therefore, we should be very careful in pronouncing and writing alpa prana mahapranas. And in chanting also, to get the full benefits of chanting, you need to be clear in the mahapranas, and we should not chant them as alpa pranas. So this slide shows you mahapranas. You see this band: k, g, ch, j, t, d, t, d, p, b, and sh, s, and h. There should be a halanta here. Sorry about the typo. We will correct it and upload it. So sh, s, h, they also require more prana compared to the alpa prana letters. Therefore, sh, s, h are also mahaprana letters. So this is the distinction based on the prana or the breath used to pronounce the letters. Then we have the anunasikaha. So we were discussing how the fifth letter of each varga takes the support of the nose. It needs the help of the nose, the nasal tone. They are called anunasikaha. Anu, they follow the nasika, they follow the nose. So anunasikaha, the last letter of each varga, the fifth letter of all the vargiya vyanjanani, they are anunasikaha. So, ng, nya, n, n, m are anunasikaha. Please note, they are also alpa pranas. They are not mahapranas. Then, there is another way to classify consonants as karkasha and mrudu. Karkasha, hard, mrudu, soft. Now, this distinction, it's important because going further, even in Samskriта Bharati exams, you will be learning sandhi. I told you, right? Rules of combining letters. In that, some sandhi rules tell us that when there is a mrudu vyanjanam or when there is a karkasha vyanjanam, so when they use this, you should know what the distinction is. So if you learn this at this stage, it becomes easier then for you to understand. So the hard consonants are these. They are karkasha vyanjanani or hard consonants. And they are k, k, ch, ch, t, 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 p, p, and sh, sh, and s. These are karkasha vyanjanani or hard consonants. Mrudu vyanjanani, soft consonants, are the remaining. G, g, ng, j, j, ny, d, d, n, d, d, n, b, b, m, and y, r, l, v, and h also. So all these are mrudu vyanjanani. So when we do the exercises, when we say h, you should be able to say, is it alpa prana, mahaprana, is it mrudu or karkasha? So that we should know, where we should be very perfect. And you will appreciate this, like I said, going further, when you actually use this distinction practically. So at that time, you don't have to go back and say, oh, what is mrudu and what is karkasha, when the rule is telling you something to use this. So please be thorough with this distinction at this stage itself, in the Pravesha stage. Okay, so now we will see the entire Varnamala, Samskrita Varnamala, which all of you have learnt by now. So we have the Swaraha, A to Aha. We have the Vyanjanani, Vargiya, that is K to M, and Avargiya, Y to H. So we also learned the different types of Vyanjanani, grouped, non-grouped, Alpaprana, Mahaprana, Anunasika, Mridu, and Karkasha. Okay, so let us conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyaha. Thank you very much. We will meet next Sunday, but you will also have a class on Saturday for the exercises. Dhanyavadaha. Punarmilamaha.